if I sound a little bit different in the midst of all that excitement, I chomped my teeth and cut off the filling, and so waiting to see the dentist. It was a great football game, and we knew it was going to be that way. Coach Rolovich has done a great job. He's the right guy for the University of Hawaii. They're playing with a hard edge. They had a bye week, and some of our more seasoned fans remember some of the tough games that we've had with Hawaii, and that proved to be the case. We're certainly excited about the win. Conference win is always important. It was a heck of a ball game. We did get beat up. I imagine they did as well, and that's typical of that type of game as well. Some of the status of the guys will be determined as the week goes along, but we're certainly pleased with the win, and a conference win is always important. On to our next opponent, Texas State. We've had a home series with Texas State. They'll come into Laramie, and we got to be ready to play. A very talented quarterback, a graduate transfer from Mississippi State. He was heavily recruited and played in the SEC. Williams is an excellent passer. He's a very athletic guy. They've got a host of running backs, some receivers. They spread the ball around, and there's a guy that's not a starter, but we think is an excellent player, Moberly. They operate out of 3-4, and that'll be another challenge for us to get ready to go this week. We're excited about being at home. It'll be an afternoon game, different platform it'll be shown on. We're excited about that. And so at this time, I'll open it up to any questions anybody might have.
Great. I know you mentioned, injuries will be determined as the week goes on. Is it somewhat encouraging with guys like Caden or Marcus or even Kevin Prosper that there's chances you might get them back? Because it sounded like it was a little not as optimistic after the Hawaii game Saturday night.
Well, we'll find out more today, Robert. What was encouraging is, James Price came back and really played well. That was his first opportunity for some live contact, so we're encouraged about that. We'll find out a little bit more on the status of each one of those guys. For me to say something right now, I think it would be a little bit premature. You'll find out a little bit more probably tomorrow.
With James, obviously he caught the winning touchdown, so is he still in good shape of getting more reps and getting back in there?
He's going to be inserted as a starter this week, so there'll be even more repetition than normal there.
Coach, after a couple games where the defense was on the field a whole lot, I guess just how much of that is, facing pretty tough offenses, and how much is, maybe needing to get some more third down stops and things like that?
Well, there's a give and take within the flow of a football game. Possessions come about. Certainly any time that you score on a kickoff return, that has an impact. Mm-hmm. But Hawaii did a nice job, and we had them backed up a couple times, third down and long. Their quarterback really did a nice job making some plays. Certainly we can play better. And then, I think we need to establish more drives on offense, and we're going to clean some things up this week. I think the guys are going out there working hard in practice to stay on the field a little bit more offensively is going to even that balance out. We're certainly getting a lot of repetition on defense, and we gave up a lot of yards. The positive thing was we got the 2 turnovers, and then we kept points off the board for the most part.
Working 3 safeties this year rather than always just having Marcus and Dewey. I guess, what have you seen from Elijah so far this year, how he's come along there?
Well, he's progressed each week, and each week, the game plan changes, and for a younger guy, that can be a challenge, but it's been good. Elijah's an excellent tackler. He's around the ball a lot. He's playing meaningful reps and meaningful times of the game, and so we're encouraged about that.
You talked about the Mississippi State quarterback, started at Mississippi State. Does he compare favorably or is he more unique of other maybe kind of dual threat guys that you've either seen this season or even in past seasons?
Well, it'd be in the past, and to throw a name out there might be a little bit slighted. He's really an excellent player. He was heavily recruited. I think he's a 5-star guy out of Louisiana, and played pretty successfully in the game. So, to say, quote, dual threat, I think it minimizes sometimes people's thoughts on his ability to throw. He's got a quick release. He's got a strong arm.
Dewey's the Defensive Player of the Week, named by the Mountain West. Are you looking for him to do anything special against Texas in this upcoming game?
Well, he's got to continue to be a force out there tackling, and that's predetermined. It's not like you got a safety that's deep in the backfield and making tackles because your run defense is so porous. Andrew's been inserted close to the line of scrimmage. A lot of times he's up there making tackles at 1 yard. And certainly made a great interception, and he'll continue to play well. Andrew plays with a hard edge, and he has high expectations of himself and this defense.
I think Jace went in there when Caden went down on Saturday. It looks like Cole's behind Caden on the depth chart. Is that kind of up in the air this week as well in terms of who's maybe would step in for Caden there? Or
yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look. We'll know more, like I said, tomorrow morning. I do think it looks promising to have Ryan Cummings back, and we'll find out a little bit more about Ryan Cummings as well.
Craig, with Trey moving over to the offense, that's 2 guys in the last 4 years you've done that with Brian Hill too. Is that common in your history? Is that common to move players from offense to defense, or is that pretty rare?
I don't think we did that with Brian. Now, Brian was a linebacker in high school, but he started out as a running back. Trey started out as a running back, and then we began to look at what skill set he has during the course of camp and then during fall. Particularly with freshmen, sometimes you do that quite a bit, and we have done that. The things that we liked about Trey, his size, he covers ground in a different manner than maybe some of the other guys that we have. And, at that size, then he's shown some power running, and then his speed. I think the future really looks bright for that guy because, if you look at his weight right now, I think he's about 209 pounds. He's awfully lean, and you're looking at a 6'3", 230-pound guy as we go, and those are the typical prototype guys that we like at our tailback spot.
when you have such a tall back like that, is there a balance between him being a physical runner and him getting his pad level down and not running too straight up sometimes?
Well, pad level is always important, particularly when you're a taller guy, but that leverage does make a difference, and we'll continue to work on that. But I think he's running, he's running with not only good intensity, but I think his body lean's pretty good.
What have you seen, Coach, out of your tight ends? Just, obviously you had a great one with Hollister last year. What have you seen out of Tyree, Josh, in terms of their development and kind of connecting a little bit even more with Josh in the passing game?
Well, they're emerging, certainly, and I think Jake caught a couple passes this last Sunday as well. We're always championing those guys. Tyree's coming around. Josh Harshman's been very capable. So we're pleased with those guys, and you saw them make some big plays in Saturday night's game.
I guess with the bye week coming up, how important is it just to go into that with a win the same way that you guys did last season?
Well, I'm going to give you the accurate coach's response. That's the next week after that. We're looking at Texas State really hard. They're a capable opponent. We're excited that we're going to be at home. We're excited about playing an afternoon game. And so that's what we're focused on. No disrespect on your question.